Okay, so I know on this channel, full beards is kind of what we do. We talk about beards all the time, but I just want to put beards aside for a second and talk about mustaches since we don't tend to do that a lot. It seems to me that a mustache alone tends to go in and out of style a bit more often than a full beard does. Well, interestingly enough, the first instance of a well-defined mustache on the upper lip dates all the way back to ancient Egypt. More specifically on the upper lip of Rahotep, an Egyptian prince from 2500 BC. Either way, nowadays, if you feel like the mustache style is right for you and you really want to get into it, or let's say you happen to be in an occupation that only limits your facial hair capabilities to a mustache, then let's talk about some tips and tricks for you to get the best mustache that you possibly can. Let's talk about growing the mustache first and foremost. The whole growth cycle for your mustache is actually where you're going to define most of its shape. The awkward growth phase is a real thing. Typically, certain areas on your face don't grow hair as quickly as other areas do, and that can kind of create a disheveled, unclean look. And in order to avoid this, especially for your mustache, which does tend to be a problem area for most men out there, then you're going to want to trim your mustache in a very specific way. It's very common for men who are trying to grow a mustache to have the center of their mustache grow in very full, very thick, but the sides of their mustache, especially where it connects down here around the chin, to not grow in very thick or not grow in very well. But this is important because if you want to kind of avoid that awkward growth cycle phase, then you're going to want to trim the center of your mustache to keep it short until the sides of your mustache tend to have a chance to grow out, and then you can let the center grow out alongside it. Now on the same line, when you're shaping your mustache, really the only thing you can do at this point is trimming the lip line right here, right above your lip. Now the lip line that you decide to trim is actually going to depend on the mustache style you're going for. For example, like mine, a shorter mustache is generally trimmed just above the lip line there so the hair doesn't get in your mouth and get irritated with your eating and everything like that. But a longer mustache, one that someone may be planning to do a handlebar with, you may want to let your hair grow out much further past the lip and just sweep it sideways along the sides of your mouth with some product that we're going to talk about later. Okay, so now you have grown your mustache out, the second tip we have for you has to do with hydration and health. Believe it or not, beard oil is not just for a beard. You can use it on a mustache too. And as we know, dry skin is one of the most common causes of redness, irritation, breakouts, flaking, and just a whole bunch of unhappy stuff. Not to mention, dry beard hair tends to feel pretty stiff. It feels like sandpaper almost. You're gonna want to reintroduce some moisture and some hydration to your mustache and the skin underneath with some beard oil. Now that beard oil is meant to just replenish the oils that your skin and hair need in order to stay healthy, those oils that kind of get wicked away or washed away in the shower or in the elements. You need to replace those. Your mustache likely won't be very comfortable, and it's probably gonna be more difficult to style and maintain overall unless you keep it hydrated. So you're definitely gonna wanna consider using some beard oil and maybe even a brush to kind of brush away the dead skin that may build up on the skin underneath, and to kind of spread the oil more evenly throughout your hair and to the skin underneath your mustache. Now the next kind of step in your mustache growing journey is going to be to style your mustache overall. Now interesting note, this may be an optional tip for some of you depending on what kind of style you're going for. For those of you who want to do a handlebar mustache, unfortunately, handlebar mustaches don't just happen on their own. You have to use some kind of styling product. But if you're just going for a typical shorter mustache, you don't really need a styling product as much. I would say that generally, if the hair in your mustache is long enough for you to suffer from some of those flyaways and stray hairs that are kind of ruining the overall lines of your mustache, then you can probably use some product in order to keep those hairs in check. Now there are two main options that you have when it comes to styling products for your mustache. The first of which, and the most popular of which, for styling purposes only, is beard and mustache wax. Now wax is a super stiff styling compound that just helps keep all of your hair in line. And generally it'll keep your mustache in perfect order all day long because those waxes don't tend to kind of absorb into your hair and in your skin as quickly as something like our next product, which is beard balm. Now when it comes to styling your mustache, beard balm may be a little less common, but is still definitely something you should consider depending on how long your mustache hairs are. You see, the longer the hair is, typically the harder it is to keep it all maintained and all in shape. shape really well. And so mustache wax is probably going to be your best friend if you tend to have longer mustache hairs, or if you really want to do some intricate design like a handlebar mustache or anything like that, where you'll need it to last all day long and keep its shape all day long. Now, beard balm isn't going to be as thick of a consistency as beard wax is, but it's going to be much better for hydrating because it is a blend of oils, butters, and light waxes. Just don't expect it to hold up all day or give you the kind of strong hold that a wax does. So overall, from the Fu Manchu mustache to the classic handlebar to the horseshoe mustache, whatever it is, these styling products are going to have you covered. So to recap, there are three main parts of mustache maintenance. There is growing and trimming your mustache to kind of avoid that awkward growth phase. There is hydrating and keeping the health in your mustache up and good to go. And there is third, last but not least, the styling of your mustache in order to give you the perfect mustache shape. And if all else fails, then consider using some Volt beard color, maybe just fill in the gaps. So overall, if you're curious about using any of these products, I will have the link to all of them in the description, as well as a link to a quiz that you can take where you can find your perfect Volt beard color if that happens to be the option that you want to explore. Now, if you guys like this video, we have tons more out here on the channel with a ton of different creators. You're gonna wanna hit like and subscribe so that you can keep up to date with all the new videos that we've got coming for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you found some value in this, let us know down in the comments, and let us know how you're doing on your mustache growing journey and why you chose to grow a mustache in the first place. So best of luck to all you guys out there on your mustache growing adventures. Let us know how it goes in the comments, and we will see you in the next video.